Hello everyone, this is grade 6, module 1, lesson 29 problem set. We're still working with percent problems and the three parts, the whole, the part, the percent. So let's start in with 1, and it says Henry has 15 lawns mowed out of a total of 60. What percent of lawns does Henry still have to mow? Well, if we put this into fraction form, we're looking for the percent. So the part is 15, the whole amount is 60. And in order to figure out that percent, I know that all percents are out of 100. I got to get that out of 100. But I know that 60 can't go into 100. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make equivalent ratios to the point where I can. So when I look at this number, I know that 15 can go into 60. So I'm going to reduce by 15 or simplify by 15 fifteenths. Because again, 15 fifteenths is one whole. So we're not changing the value. We're just making an equivalent ratio. 15 divided by 15 is 1. 60 divided by 15 is 4. So now I'm at 1/4. And it's still equivalent to 15 over 60. So I'm crossing that off to show that I'm now using 1/4 in place of it because it's an equivalent ratio. Now, 4 to 100 is times 25 because there's 4 quarters in a dollar. That's how I know it. So whatever I do down here for my multiplication, I have to do up here. And again, it's not multiplying by 25, it's multiplying by 25 25ths. So 1 times 25 is 25. Once it's out of 100, we now have our percent. So that's what he has mowed. But the question says, what percent does Henry still have to mow? So if he mowed 25%, it means he still has the remaining left to mow, which is 100% minus 25%. And I'm assuming we can get this one to 75% still to mow. Let's take a look at 2. And I'll bring 2 down to here. It says Marissa got an 85% on her math quiz. She had 34 questions correct. How many questions were on the quiz? So we're given the percent, and the statement's saying that she got 34 questions, meaning that's the part. We want to know how many questions total were on the quiz. So we're looking for the whole. So 85% goes over 100 immediately because that's our percentage. Now, I want to try to make that equal to my part, and I have something missing down here on the bottom, meaning I got to find my whole amount. Now, 34 can't go into 85, and I know 85 can't go into 34, so I'm going to take this 85 hundredths and try to get it into an equivalent ratio, meaning I want to change, I want to keep the ratio the same, the value of it, just make an equivalent one that can maybe help me get to 34. So I know 5 can go into those because anything that ends in 0 and 5. So I'm going to divide by 5 over 5. And the bottom's fairly easy. That's 20. And 85 divided by 5 will get me 17. So let me try that one now. So now I'm looking at 17 20ths. And this is kind of a perfect question, I would say. Because 17 goes into 34 twice. 2 times 17 is 34. So if I do times 2 on the top, I have to do times 2 on the bottom because this isn't times 17 over 20, it's times 2. It's times 2 halves, or 2 over 2. So 17 times 2 is 34. 20 times 2 is 40. So there were 40 questions. Let's do 3 real quick. I'm going to slide off to the side for this one. Lucas read 30% of his book containing 480 pages. What page is he going to read next? So they're giving me the percent, and the whole book has 480 pages, so they're giving me the whole. 30 out of 100 because that's my percentage, and I'm looking for this top part. Now, 480. So I need to first try to get this so I can try to put my bottom number, 100, into 480. I can't do that easily, so I want to find a simplified ratio that will help me. So I know immediately when they both end in 0, I can divide by 10 over 10 to get me to 3/10. That's going to help me a lot because I know 10 can go into 480 because 480 ends in a 0. So I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to do 3/10. And now I got to figure out how many times 10 can go into 480, and I know when there's a 0 on the end of a number, it means times 10, so it's 48 times 10. So it's going to be 48 over 48 because I'm still doing it by one whole. So 10 times 48 gets me 480. 3 times 48 should get me my part. And that's 144. So 30% is 144 pages. So let's go back over to the question and see what the question actually said. Lucas read 30% of his book containing 480 pages. What page is he going to read next? Well, I'm going to make a statement here first to help me out. 30% equals 144. So he will... I need more space. Let me move over. So he will read page 145 next. Because he's on page 144, and the question says, what page will he read next? So we have to go to the next page. So there's my work for it. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps, and good luck on the rest of your problem set.